I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which are available to download in US letter or A4, and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best be prepared for your exam, and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to crack on, moving on to question 3 to begin with. So if you turn with me to page 8, we'll continue with this paper B of the 2019 practice paper. So here we are, grade 1, paper B, question 3. So now we have some questions to do with scales. So it's important that you know your key signatures, and then it's reading the question to see whether they want key signatures or accidentals. So also watch out and be careful that you begin on the right note for the appropriate clef. So here we're asked to write using semi-breves or whole notes, so that means we don't have to worry about stems, which way the stems go. We're writing one octave and we're not using key signatures, so we've got to put accidentals in place. So let's just get the blobs in the right place. So G major ascending, of course, must begin on G. So here is our note G for the bass clef. Good boys deserve football, and so on. So there is G. Now scale literally just means step. So we are working in next door notes, stepping up this ladder system of the stave. So it's line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's one octave ascending going up. And now we've got to do the accidentals. So G major has a key signature of F sharps, and so we need to add the sharp in. Now, if you're not sure of reading your clef, it depends if this is the clef you're used to, depending on what instrument you play, you can always just count up. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and of course the sharp comes before the note when you're writing it in music. You write it after the note when you're writing it in words like F sharp, as if you were writing the word, but you need to put the sharp before the note in music because of course you need to know before you actually play it, so you're actually writing sharp F. So there we go, that's that one completed. And now in the treble clef we're going to write F major scale descending, coming down. So let's get these notes in the right place first of all. So every good boy deserves football. And then stepping down, scale literally means step. So line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we've ended on F. The spaces spell face, F-A-C-E, so there's our low F. And so F major would have a key signature of B flats. However, we need to write that as a flat, so every good boy, B flats, or counting upwards, F, G, A, B flat, and the flat goes before the note. There we go, so let's press on to the next question. So now we're moving on to question 4, where we're asked to describe these melodic intervals. Melodic intervals meaning they come one after another as if it were a melody, unlike harmonic intervals that come one on top of each other as it were in a harmony. And so we're counting the interval or the space between these notes. And the one thing you need to be careful about is that we count this given note, the lowest note, as note 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The only way you can go wrong is if you forget to count this given note as 1 and begin on the next step up. If you want to sort of avoid or give yourself a double check there, if you count out the steps of the scale, we're in D major, so D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. If you find that tricky, you can always just sketch out a piano keyboard. It doesn't have to be a work of art, just to visualise those steps. And they are steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we can see that from D to B is indeed a 6th. So that just helps as a double check. So here we're in the treble clef and we're counting from this low D, counting every step, including this first one here. 1, 2, 3, space, line, space, every step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an eighth or an octave. Either one of those says the same thing, and we can see that we've gone from D to Every Good Boy Deserves D, the full octave. So let's continue now. We're in the bass clef, counting from D here. 1, 2. Next door notes are a second, and we can see that from D to E is a second. Back into the treble clef we go. So we have a D, 1, 2, 3, D, E, F. Of course it's F sharp, but your key signature deals with that, and so we can see that that is a third. So now counting in the bass clef from this low D here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the space, so we can see that, and we're 1 above it, so that must be 7th. So you can see we've gone 1 higher than we were before. And that is middle C, and we can see that from D to C is a 7th. And then finally back into the treble clef we go, counting from this D. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a 4th. And we can see that from this is a G, every good. From D to G is a 4th. So that's just another way of double checking, making sure you haven't miscounted by a step by forgetting to count this number 1. So for this last question on this page, we need to write a rest of the appropriate time value to the given note. So this is referring to, in your PDF or in your workbook, the section I refer to as section G, looking at rests values and their relative note values. So it's just testing that. So this is a minim or a half note, and so a 2-beat rest to match a 2-beat note just sits on this middle line here. Now this next one we have a quaver, an 8th note, and in actual fact if you had a little bit of a mental block, the answer has sort of been given to you here, because here is the very same thing with a dot. So if you weren't sure, you could just check back and just know this time it doesn't have a dot. So this is our quaver 8th note rest, half a beat rest there. Now this is our semi-brief whole note, and a 4-beat rest hangs off. Now the way it hangs off the 4th line, and the way I avoid confusion between these two rests is the 4-beat rest hangs off the 4th line as opposed to this one that sits on the middle. And just as an extra bit of revision, do remember that this is also sort of a shorthand way of writing a complete bars rest regardless of the time signature. So here we have the crotchet, the quarter note rest, which is this. You can also have that, however I don't use that one, and I recommend that you don't, because it's far too easily confused with this one. Nobody really uses that so much now. It's kind of the old-fashioned notation that's sort of fallen out of fashion, possibly because it's too easily confused with that. So I just do this one. It's tricky to draw. I sort of draw a Z with a C at the bottom. So there we go. And now we have the 16th note, this semiquaver. And again, if it is that you have a mental block, this has sort of helped you because it's the same shape as the quaver, the 8th note, and then just as this has got an extra beam, this also has an extra arm to reflect that semiquaver 16th note value. So there's lots of little tips to just help you find clues to bring back to your remembrance what these rests are. So there we go, that's that question completed. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope it's helping you with your studies. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Also, please do visit sharonbill.com and browse around all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.